Today, I want to show you an overview of assessments in MyPlan. You can get the license code to have access to all the assessments by contacting one of the counselors. I'm not going to put it on here because it does change every once in a while. So, when you get to MyPlan and you've logged in, you can go to the Assessments tab. Under the Assessments tab, once you've put in the license code, you'll have access to all of the assessments. So, if you want to get a career personality, I recommend going through this. You should answer the questions as if you were a child or younger and you haven't been affected by kind of the ways of the world. So don't answer how you think is best to answer based on what you've been taught, but what your first instinct is. This career interest inventory is going to find out what types of works might, or what type of work you're interested in. What are the things that make you tick? The skills is super important. So these are the types of things that you're good at. It's okay if you're not sure, or if you haven't gone to much college yet. It doesn't really have to do with that. Just answer as accurately as possible. And then your values. What's important to you in your work? What is going to be essential for you in a career or a job? Once you've taken all of these, then you can go to Career Match down here, and it gives you kind of an overview of everything that they recommend. So I want to show you what it looks like when you get your results. So my reports are going to be down here, and I'll talk about these tabs in another video, but you'll see my reports on the left in your portfolio. Um, you can also access things from up here, obviously. Personality tests, if you click on that, it'll show you what your personality type is. You'll get one of these codes, these 16 codes. So take this with a grain of salt. These aren't set in stone. You can look through the different types and see if one fits you better. But really, the value of knowing your personality type is to understand yourself better in a way that maybe you didn't think about before. So I like personality tests because the results typically will put into words things that I haven't thought about before. But you can also learn about how you like to work. So if you look at something like extroverted versus introverted, this is where you get your energy from. Does being around people make you energized, or do you need to rest afterwards? So it'll go through all of these different areas with you, and you can kind of read what each is, and it also describes your strengths and weaknesses. All right, so interest test. The interest test is going to give you one of these 6 interests as your top one, and then it'll give you a secondary one. And this is a pretty broad overview of things that might be important to you or that you like, and some different adjectives that describe you. So this might not be super helpful together, but when you look at it as a package with the other assessments, it can help you decide what might be a good fit for you. All right, so let's look at skills test. So it's going to, the test is going to look at your skills and see what might be a good fit for you based on what you answered. And so here are the types of skills it's looking for. Are you a good reader, writer? Do you like math? Are you good at math? And so obviously, if you're looking at different careers based upon your skills, you're not going to want to be an engineer if you're not good at math. So this can help you decide what might be a good fit or not. And then your values, again, this is what's important to you. So is achievement important to you? Is moving forward in your job important to you? Is working alone important to you? These things are important when considering a career, because if you get into a job where, say, you really want to be independent, but you're not at all, then you're not going to be very happy probably. All right. And then if you want to look at your composite score, this is what is the career match. And so this is going to take into account all of your education or all of your results and give you some idea of what might be a good fit for you. So you can use this drop down to base it upon single tests, or you can use all of your scores for the composite. You can also choose how much education you want to go through and see what type of stuff comes up for that. So if I were to change it to a 4-year degree and hit go based on my composite, I can go to each job, click on it. I can add them to my portfolio for later if I want to come back to it. But this is such a good resource. You can see what the job does, what is required of you to get the job. And this is important. Even if money is not your top value, it's still important to think about what you're going to earn because you still have to pay your bills, right? And then I think it's especially helpful to have related degrees and fields because you could major in something like geology, and there are lots of related fields that you could also go into with that major. There's lots of data on this page. You can click through all these things at the top for more detailed descriptions, employment options, articles. The community is pretty cool because you can find people who actually work in a field and reach out to them and network, which can be valuable in getting information about what your day to day work might be like.